Because of certain indiscreet remarks by Don Imus and Howard Stern, WNBC Radio apologizes to the following: the National Organization for Women, the New York chapter of Hadassah, Governor Cuomo, the New York Jets, the United States Congress, both houses, Nassau Community College, the Gay Men's Choir, Sons of Italy, Rabbi Arthur Selkowitz, my wife,
66 WNBC. If we weren't so bad, we wouldn't be so good.
Queen Elizabeth, Mayor Koch.
Now, for the first time, you can own your very own Rings of Power. From the Kelleborn Smiths, we'll be sending you one per season. Molded to appear forged in the fires of Mount Doom. Made from the finest cubic zirconium, plastic, and metal that isn't measurably radioactive and won't turn your fingers green. Probably. Much. These can now be yours for 5 easy payments of $39.99.99 Elvish runes. Act now. Supplies are limited, because once the Dark Lord Sauron takes over, they'll all be gone, and you'll be his slaves. And just remember,
there's a tempest in me,
whose fault this actually is.
And it will not be quelled.
From Lucasfilm, the company that has done more to destroy everything you love since your ex-wife got all your stuff in the divorce, comes the series that literally has no stakes because you know the main character has to live long enough just to die at the end of Rogue One. Andor. Meet Cassian Andor, the title character, a space immigrant who grew up on a Lord of the Flies mining planet, who now lives in a junkyard like Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, with a bootleg version of Wally who gets peed on by a space dog, pig thing, I'm not sure what this animal's supposed to be, and is now on the run after killing 2 guys. Watch as Cassian Andor is hunted by discount Kyle MacLachlan, who's the only American on this show, and for some reason he's been cast as the bad guy. Nice way to be subtle with your subtext there. Now, Cassian Andor must elude security forces by walking, strolling, sauntering, strutting, ambulating. Yeah, I'm running out of synonyms for walking here. Can we get to something interesting, please? Then, after 2.5 episodes, there's finally some action, with a generic shootout in a garage, where pulleys take out more bad guys than the actual weapons do. You know, this show is about a guy who crosses the border illegally, murders 2 people, and is now running from the Federales. Are you sure the Latino community wants to take ownership of this one? Diego Luna stars in the series that is ultimately completely pointless in Dead Man Walking. How is this Star Wars' prestige show? It's quite literally about nothing. At least Seinfeld was about a bunch of neurotic a-holes who were undateable in New York. That was at least something. This guy's just walking around for an hour and a half.
Hi, New York. You know, before I was a comedian, I was a guitar player. And I wanted to be the best, but I wasn't. Just like a lot of radio stations try to be KRock, and they're not, because KRock is the best. It's the best classic rock and roll you're going to find, and they have it all day. And they have Howard Stern in the morning. And we don't mean to laugh in the face of the other radio stations. But you're just not KRock! Turn to KRock 92.3 FM!
Tired of not feeling your best due to joint pain?
I don't have time for this.
Now with fast-acting Back-to-Teen Cream, you can kiss your sore joints goodbye. Whether you find yourself in a duel or just relaxing at the end of the day with a cup of Paul Bucks, you deserve to live pain-free. Back-to-Teen Medicated Cream, now available at Costco, CVS, and other fine stores. Yeah, I'm not an expert, but I haven't seen hand-to-hand combat this bad since Book Boba Fett.
Admiral, there be whales here!
Worn out from your long commute to your dead-end job? Then why not relax with the great taste of Paul Buck's coffee? Perfect for the Jedi cat lady on the go who just wants to unwind after a long day of saving the galaxy. Or staring off into space. Enjoy the delicious taste of Paul Buck's coffee. Now at both light and dark side roast. Delicious Paul Buck's coffee. Now available at Costco.
At the bottom. That's what we're here for, guys, to win.
That was no goal, you know? They was in the crease.
Alright, now this here Black Shaggy OnlyFans. Now there ain't no room on the internet for fat, dumb bitches like yourself. Unless you're willing to do some girl. For that, we're gonna have to talk to Daphne or Gigi, your hot friend Brenda dead. That don't help none. Get someone like Daphne or Gigi, they make you forget that your fat dumbass is on screen. Look at me when I'm talking to you, bitch.
I tried. Then I have to eat a whole pie to feel better, and I will die before I give that up.
Oh, it figures. Your fat dumbass talk about food again. Even my pops call your ass dumb.
Really? Even though he's the one who basically taught you to be a beta?
My moms and pops still married, bitch. Not like your pops who married that dumbass waitress at the diner. Knocked her ass up. Your mom's was a senior when you was a freshman. How do you think Black Shaggy's OnlyFans got its start? I'll give you a hint. It's that little baby brother you're taking care of. Black Shaggy doing a public service helping couples put the spice back into marriage. That's right.
Norville, you have a girlfriend?
No, she a hoe, you dumb bitch.
And your girlfriend is Gigi?
It's all thanks to you, Velma.
I got tired of waiting and you and your fat dumbass and Daphne started without me. And Gigi likes going to Butttown already. I didn't have to ask. That's right.
No, I'm so excited.
Your fat dumbass better be excited. This just went from 3 to 4-way. Black Shaggy gonna get so much tang, he might as well work for NASA. That's right, it's a NASA joke. Black Shaggy is a scientific individual. You might as well call me Neil deGrasse Shaggy from now on. That's right, I made a NASA joke, which is way smarter than anything Minnie Killing's fat dumbass gonna write in this show. That's what we call meta-humor.
But I only see you when I need you as is. Fine, great. No sweat off my underboob.
Your underboob ain't the only thing that's sweaty. You might want to wash that pussy once in a while. We know it ain't your breath because we know you're too selfish to go down on Daphne. And your whole diet is eating french fries out the damn garbage. That's right.
How is my mom's disappearance related to your grandma?
Your mom's left because she hated your fat dumbass, bitch. These dumbass writers gotta make everybody connected to everybody else. Don't know nothing about characterization, know how. That's right.
Your mom's a high school principal married to a guidance counselor.
At least my parents are still married, bitch. Your pops is married to some dumbass waitress almost as dumb as you.
Ah! What the hell? Wait, I found a bag of salad.
What the fuck you doing? Good, something funny actually happened in this goddamn episode. About time, bitch.
We could take Daphne's mom's cop car to Spooner's to get food there. Unfortunately, I don't drive.
Your fat dumbass just wants an excuse to eat out the damn garbage again. You sick girl, you need some help. It ain't the kind of help that Black Shaggy can give you. That's right.
Oh, yuck.
Hey, we all know your fat dumbass eat out the garbage. I'm just the one saying it.
Me?
That's right.
It's the Muppet Show with a very special guest star, Mr. Jack Black, Lizzo, Tim Meadows, Jen Cope. Really? Who the f*** is Jen Kober? Okay. Christopher Lloyd, and Amy Sedaris. Yay! And don't miss a special appearance next week by Jay and Silent Bob. Because why the f*** not at this point?
Alright, let's get out of here.
Your fat dumbass still eating out the damn garbage, girl. Don't you want to go Subway or something?
There's no time.
Someone got to say, you got a problem, girl. Your fat dumbass keep eating out the garbage. That and Daphne going to Butttown, not you.
Wow, Norville.
Oh, God, what are we gonna do? I can't go back to jail.
Velma, how is it that Fred went to Butttown more than you while he was in jail? Answer that for me, you fat dumb bitch.
And you do it for me.
Black Shaggy say fuck you.
I'm out past curfew. What are you gonna do about that?
Velma, you let the police run your fat dumbass over. You dumb bitch. That's right.
Feeling run down? Don't have the energy you used to? You want to put the zest back into your step? Then you need Super Mario Lizard Vitality. It's got everything you need to get your groove back. 100% guaranteed effective. Just look at what's done for me. And enter the code Universalist at checkout to get a free subspace shipping on your order. So don't delay. Get your 30-day supply for only $29.99 Quatloos. Don't be a tool of the Galactic World Order. Get yours now. Ah!
Coming up on the CW, it's prom night, and love is in the air.
Until it's time to throw down.
Sam and Miguel share a tender moment.
But look who's crashing the party.
Watch as young couples share a romantic dance.
And fight. And dance fight.
Be sure to watch an extra special episode
of Kung Fu High Prom Night.
I'm Sunday morning, WNBC. That was all. My microphone was muted. WNBC. How you doing? I'm Sunday morning. Yeah, it started. It started when I'm Sunday morning. WNBC. Well, it's so bad. Well, it's so good. WFAN. I'm Sunday morning. How you doing, everybody? Everybody out there in Radio Land. Wolf Fury, Anubis T800. Andrew Helm. Chef Nation. How you doing there? That's right. That's right. All right, okay. Very good to see you now, New Orleans here. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Substance D, how you doing? Cesaro Japan. How you doing, everybody? How's it going out there? Kind of a light news day. SAG-AFTRA's still on strike. Yeah, well, I don't think anybody really misses it. Especially because Fran Drescher talks to everybody like their children.
Are they children though?
I don't know, are they?
Probably.
Probably.
Maybe they have it coming.
They got it coming. That's right. Australia's #1 favorite morning drive time podcast. That is right. And I said we're working on putting together my commission on Australian nude beach hotness when I take over. So how's it going out there? Where do we start, everybody? We got some fake news. We got some featured headlines. We got a little bit of animal news. Not a whole lot of animal news going on. Yeah, imagine being lectured by her. Yeah. Yeah, we have a respite from bad movies and TV shows. That's actually a good thing. Yeah, just keep the beer coming. I'll going to Prague next year. Oh, cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Had a new guy in school, though. He said, I'm moving there. I go live in Prague, man. I live in Prague. He's a rich kid, met a rich girl. I never liked him anyway. But don't let that stop you.
If Parker shows up my door, I will run away with him.
Okay.
Just saying.
That's fine.
It'll never happen. He's a billionaire. No one but I will run away with him.
So anyway, how is it going? The strike is still running. They're going to probably reboot the Marvel universe. A little too late. Listen, does anybody really care at this point? Really? So they're actually they're kind of talking about something about Ryan Reynolds. Let's take a look at this story. Because, like I said, there's not a whole lot of other news going on. Activision clarifies Halloween strike rules after criticism from Ryan Reynolds and Mandy Moore. I got nothing against Ryan Reynolds or Mandy Moore. Ryan Reynolds, Mandy Moore's kind of, I don't know. I haven't really seen her much lately. SAG-AFTRA is clarifying its Halloween strike rules after receiving backlash from Ryan Reynolds, Mandy Moore, and former SAG president Melissa Gilbert, as I call her, Melissa Giblet. Earlier this week, the Screen Actors Guild published a now-deleted post on a website that offered Halloween guidance amid actor strike. Actors with an apostrophe, trike. Actors strike. You're seeing this, right? Actors strike. Dear God, but nobody spell checks this? No, apparently not.
They're all AI now.
No, in an infographic, the union encouraged members to dress as generalized characters and figures, ghost, zombie, spider, etc., instead of sporting spooky struck work costumes from popular movies and TV franchises like Barbie, Marvel, or Star Wars. However, in a statement released Friday night, SAG confirmed that these rules do not apply to stars' children. Oh, isn't that nice of them? SAG-AFTRA issued Halloween guidance in response to questions from
content creators and members about how to support strike during this festive season. The guild stated, per the Hollywood Reporter, this was meant to help them avoid promoting struck work, and it is the latest in a series of guidelines we have issued. It does not apply to anyone's kids. So there's the thing here. Okay. Just as characters from non-struck work content like an animated TV show. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like a lot of animation is not union. Well, it's made on the cheap, though, so that's the thing. It continued. We are on strike for important reasons and have been for nearly 100 days. Our number one priority remains getting the studios to back to the negotiating table so we can get a fair deal for our members and finally put our industry back to work. The clarification comes amid a wave of backlash from actors, including Reynolds, who immediately poked fun at SAG's Halloween costume rules and how they would affect children. I look forward to screaming scab at my 8-year-old all night, he tweeted. She's not union, but she needs to learn. On her Instagram story, Mandy Moore, similarly called out the decision. Is this a joke? Come on, SAG-AFTRA. She wrote, this is what's important. We're asking you to negotiate in good faith on our behalf. So many folks across every aspect of this industry have been sacrificing mightily for months. Get back to the table and get a fair deal so everyone can get back to work. Please and thank you. Gilbert, who served as SAG president from 2001 until 2005, repeatedly tagged current and former President Fran Drescher in a scathing statement imposed by the guidelines. This is what you guys come up with, she wrote on Instagram alongside an image of Hollywood Reporter story about the guild's Halloween rules. Literally, no one cares what anyone wears for Halloween. I mean, do you really think this kind of infantile stuff is going on to end a strike? Barbie banned striking actors are given strict Halloween costume rules. Oh, okay. Over the past, okay, this is what you come up with. Okay, there you go. That's the Instagram thing. You gotta admit though, actors aren't very bright. Listen, a lot of them don't listen. They don't spend time in getting education, and when they do, they study drama. Over the past 2.5 months, striking actors like George Clooney, Martin Sheen, Bryan Cranston, among many more, have walked picket lines and publicly supported the labor action. Their concerns include studios' threat to replace them with AI and the lack of residuals they say they are receiving from streaming content. So, okay, so there you go. You know what? I'm having, 12 people. Yeah, that's about it. The Film Actors Guild. Hey, Sandra Hampling. It is not the Film Actors Guild way. So, all right. Well, that's about it for that one. Oh God, it's like the complete ridiculousness of it. Really, you're gonna care if Ryan Reynolds' kid dresses as Deadpool? Come on, really?
I'm surprised they haven't canceled Ryan Reynolds for taking it up the button Deadpool.
Yeah, well.
Groomers. Oh, I thought they hated this stuff.
Listen, now, okay. What else was there? I'm trying to think of the other stories. There's a whole thing about, and this kind of will lead into another story. We'll get to that in a minute. But they're talking about rebooting the Avengers, rebooting Marvel Universe. Let me we'll just touch on this for a little bit. I'm not sure how long we'll go today, just because it's not really news heavy day or week or month or whatever.
World War III is going on.
World War III is going on, yeah. So we kind of have important things to worry about. Avengers 6 will soft reboot the MCU, bring back retired characters. Kevin Feige, quote, backs rumors. Major bombshell.
We're going to have to get it put on a summer stock play and save the barn and divert all World War III.
Yes. Suggests that Marvel plans a soft reboot of the MCU in 2027 with the 6th Avengers movie and teasing the return of lost heroes. Marvel Supremo Kevin Feige has reportedly suggested that the MCU may reboot after Avengers Secret Wars. Now, hold on. The soft reboot would allow Marvel to streamline the timeline, eliminate what's not working, potentially bring back beloved characters. This could be a game changer for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which Feige says has only scratched the surface of the story potential from Marvel Comics. The MCU could reboot after Secret Wars. Now, are we talking the Secret Wars from the 80s? Are we talking the Secret Wars that happened a couple years ago? Because the only way I can see them rebooting the MCU is you bring in a character like the Beyonder, who just restores everybody. The MCU can reboot it, in just 4 years after, according to a new quote from Marvel Supremo Kevin Feige. The upcoming Avengers 6 will close the currently announced slate of upcoming Marvel movies on May 7th, 2027. But Feige has also said in a recent interview with Variety that the MCU has barely scratched the surface of the story potential from Marvel Comics. But that potential may come with a soft reboot in the very near future to consolidate the timeline, trimming the fat, and most excitingly, bringing back characters who have dropped out of the franchise. Speaking on the Watch podcast, author of the new Marvel book, MCU, Reign of the Marvel Studios, Joanna Robinson dropped a bombshell that could change the Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline. We have a quote from Kevin Feige, sort of implying that, like Secret Wars, will serve as a soft reboot in which they can prune everything. That's not, to use a Lokiism. They'll prune everything that's not working and just keep what is working. Well, they got to reboot everything. They got to jettison everything then. I know, yeah, imagine that. Or bring back people you thought were gone forever. Diving into the MCU, Reign of the Marvel Studios further hints. It's notable that the final chapter, titled How Much We Have Left, has the following paragraph close to the end, relating to a meeting with Kevin Feige that concluded with him revealing a poster from a 1988 drawn Ed Hannigan and Joe Rubenstein, hundreds of Marvel characters, as an indication of how many characters the MCU could come to the MCU. As the MCU spilled over into streaming programs and the multiverse saga, Feige had to learn different lessons from the comics. How superheroes periodically needed to be rebooted, and how to stop variants and spin-offs from spiraling out of control. How an annual mega crossover event could unify a disparate line of characters. How the MCU is already setting up a reboot. The question of why Marvel would reboot the MCU, even softly, is a particularly pressing one, given how successful most of the franchise releases have been. But there is a need to consolidate the timeline after Marvel came into possession of the rights of the former Fox Marvel characters. Most notably, the still missing X-Men and Fantastic Four. With Marvel TV in such a perceived negative state, that the Disney company is rebooting their entire approach to making new shows. As Robinson says, a soft reboot would allow Marvel to keep the elements that are working and prune what isn't, as well as reintroducing major character brands like Iron Man, T'Challa, Thanos, Steve Rogers, and every other hero and villain who has either been killed off or retired. Loki Season 2 already reveals multiple clues to Avengers Secret Wars rebooting the timeline and becoming that mega crossover to unify disparate lines and reboot characters. If Feige is learning from the comics, then Secret Wars being the reset point would be logical given the events of the comic arc, which ended with the destruction of the multiverse and new stories emerging from the ashes. Loki Season 2 already confirmed that the first multiversal war of 2321 reset the timeline into He Who Remains Sacred timeline. And Sylvie's murder of the Timeline Guardian and subsequently emergence of the Council of Kangs sets up a repeat of that war. And you have to assume a repeat of the reset to stop variants and spin-offs from spiraling out of control. Okay, so okay. Not really. Still, listen. You gotta go a long way to win me back. And supposedly that John Watts is out of Fantastic Four. Matt Shakman replacing John Watts confirms WandaVision writer has joined Reboot. Oh boy. Unfortunately, after months of seemingly endless rumors, we won't get any Fantastic Four cast news until the SAG-AFTRA strike ends. However, doing the rounds to promote Apple TV's Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, director Matt Shakman, whatever his name is, wanted to be able to share a few minor updates while speaking with the playlist. Asked what is the latest on the casting process, filmmaker promised that there will be an announcement at some point. I'm thrilled that people are passionate about these characters as I am. The fact there is so much debate, I love it. And I've been thinking about who should play these characters before I had the job to direct the movie. And I understand why everybody will be thinking the same way. Chemistry is super important. It's Marvel's first family. I have to get it right. I have to get that chemistry right, he continued. The announcement is not going to be immediately when the SAG strike has been resolved, but we'll be able to share some news at some point. And I hope people are excited about this cast as I am. Later revealing Fantastic Four was the only project he met with Marvel Studios to discuss after working on WandaVision, Shakman, or whatever his name is, shared his thoughts on replacing Spider-Man No Way Home helmer John Watts as the movie's director. I love that comic. I certainly let them know that I love that comic. I think John Watts was on it for a while, and he would have done a fantastic job, but he moved on. And I was thrilled I was able to jump onto the director's chair on it and take his place. I mean, we've been on our process consistently. I've been on the project for a little over a year and working away hard at it the way we'd work on any Marvel film. Starting with, what's the story we want to tell? What is the theme of the story? Why are we telling this story? To make money. That's why you're telling the story. And just developing then the best possible version of that story. And how do we want to bring these characters to life? Understandably refusing to reveal whether he's turned to any specific comics for inspiration, Shakman confirmed he's worked on both Avatar, Way of the Water, co-writer Josh Friedman, and WandaVision Cam Squires on a draft of the Fantastic Four screenplay. That's not a comic. This is the first time the latter's name has been tied to the reboot, and we guess work has continued in earnest with the WGA strike now over. Adam Driver, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Matt Smith are rumored to be in the running to play Reed Richards, while Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn are supposedly a lock for Sue Storm and Johnny Storm, respectively. Joseph Quinn, never heard of him. Let's take a look at him. Take a look at what this guy is. Okay, yeah, I can kind of see it. Vanessa Kirby is, I don't know who that is. I know Vanessa Kirby. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Looks a little young, but kind of just a little harsh features, but they'll work with her. Evan Moss Backrack, meanwhile, maybe Ben Grimm. Nothing's been confirmed, so we'll keep you updated. Evan Moss Backrack? I don't know who that guy is. Okay. All right. Yeah, that works. All right. So, okay. Vanessa's 35. Not Samantha's Chris Bad Films. Well, like I said, nothing's set in stone. So, all right. So, anyway, I'm having a hard time caring about this movie. I really am. Really, I mean, this is getting to the point where it's just like, the movie I wanted to see was Silver Surfer, but I have little faith that they'll get it right now. Maybe they could have gotten it right back in 2014, 2012, 2010. Now, no, not so much. All right. Now, this is kind of a story that I don't think it's not really nerd news, but it's kind of fell in my lap. Man skips out on paying tab after woman orders 48 oysters on first date. A woman said a man asked her out on the first date just for drinks, but she ended up ordering and eating 48 oysters. Well, okay. Source CNN, Iguana Bennett TikTok, and Noto. I can't pronounce that. Anton Daniels YouTube. Okay, yeah. Dateline Atlanta. First dates can be tricky, but one in Atlanta got downright slimy when a woman slurped down 48 oysters, racking up a massive tab. The woman posted about the date on Fontaine's Oyster House on TikTok, saying the man asked her out on a first date just for drinks, but she ended up ordering and eating 4 dozen oysters. When the fourth platter of a dozen oysters came, he was looking at me crazy, Iguana Bennett said. After the oysters and drinks, she ordered crab cakes and potatoes. She must have either been really hungry. At some point, the man bailed. Bennett said he got up to go to the bathroom and never came back. Can you blame him? She ended up paying the $185 tab and later texted her date, running out on a tab is crazy. He responded, I offered to take out for drinks and you ordered all that food and also offered to pay her over Cash App for the price of drinks only. Most internet commenters were siding with the man, with one writing, if you eat 48 oysters in a day, you are a walrus. Another said, I don't know if I ever ate 48 of anything. Some Skittles? Others agreed they would have left, but some said the date shouldn't have walked out on the bill. The restaurant manager told Rolling Stone that eating 48 oysters is pretty impressive, but not unheard of. She was nice, manager Kelsey Flanagan told Rolling Stone. I just hope she's not getting too much flack. Oh, well. Listen. I went out with someone who pounded down 5 Cosmos one time. There's a lot of booze in those. But 48 oysters? That is something. But okay, listen, I don't want to cast aspersions about how the way she looks, but yeah, she kind of looks like.
He said he asked her out on a first date.
It kind of looks like a gold digger.
What she ended up slurping were oysters.
Yeah. So there's Jeannie Most with the humans. Okay, 48 oysters. Now oysters. Listen, I've eaten maybe 5 or 6 clams on the half shell. I like clams on the half shell. 48 oysters? That's a bit excessive.
48 oysters.
How do you eat for one?
Looking at me crazy. Her date wasn't the only one.
That's amazing, though. That's pretty. That's Fontaine's Bar, Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if Fontaine's. I don't know if anybody's been there. But again, I mean, this woman is she kind of looks like she has some high-end tastes. Let's just say right there. She does look like she has high-end tastes. Now, I don't know what the thinking is here. Did she think, well, let's see if this guy likes me enough to pay for these 48 oysters? Or did you want to just take this guy for all he's worth? Did you want to just soak him? I think you were just trying to soak him. Listen, again, I don't want to, it just looks like if he has money, he better spend it on me. Mm-hmm.
Order that much.
Well, this is.
Well, That's because she's in her I need shit to impress a bunch of idiots phase.
Yeah, she's a TikTok, not TikTok.
She's a I need gold shoes and an expensive purse and blah 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 blah.
Yes.
Not, you can get the same crap at Goodwill for $3.99, bitch.
Yes.
You seriously, you can get a Coach handbag for $20 at Goodwill.
Yes. So anyway, I'm not. Listen, listen. This is kind of a classless move, but skipping out on the build, I don't blame the guy for one bit. Don't blame him one bit. He better pay.
Yeah, she didn't order that much. If they just decided if it was just drinks.
He said just drinks. Said, hey, let's go out for a drink. She ended up ordering. Yeah, she's she's a TikTok person.
Easy. He drinks.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So. Don't blame him one bit. How are you allowed to eat seafood if you can't swim? That's a good question. Factory farming. Yeah, I'm not sure. What does a plate of oysters go for anyway? Average price.
I'm a restaurant here in Vegas. Don't do average. See how much they actually are.
Okay.
Don't average.
Las Vegas seafood.
Just look at this Oyster Bar down the street. How about the Oyster Bar at South Point? Look that up. Let me look it up.
Let's see. Oyster Bar. Menu. Let me see the menu here. Okay. Let me bring this up. Actually, bring this up here. Bring up this is the menu from the Oyster Bar at local casino. Okay, starters: Bloody Mary oyster, macadamia, deep fried oyster, breaded oysters Rockefeller, steamed tempura shrimp, jumbo crab cocktail, soups and salads, big sur, oyster, raw oyster boar, middle neck. Okay, hold on. Louisiana Gold Seal oyster, half dozen, $18.
A dozen is 30.
Yeah, a dozen is 30. So as we can see right there. All right. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, sayonara, honey. Okay. See you later. And she ordered crab cakes. The crab cakes at this place go for $33. Are you fun?
Why does seafood get so expensive?
Well, because it has to be actually caught and.
Well, I know, but it tastes bad.
Well, some people enjoy it.
Doesn't taste good. They don't know it doesn't taste good. They're buying it. Okay, yeah, they don't know it smells like pig.
Yeah, it does. It smells like pig. It's all factory farmed now anyway.
It smells like pee anyway.
It's farmed. It's a lot of it is farmed. So yeah, later, yeah, she can slip those oysters on. Yeah, you have Oyster Bar. Seriously, I think we have this only in Montreal. A lot of casinos have have a seafood restaurant, oyster bar, oyster restaurant, whatever it is. So they have a special, crab leg special, when available, $39 for 1 pound, a pound and a half, $59. King crab legs. Served with drawn butter and lemon. The freaking seafood tacos are $23. Big surf Baja shrimp, $24. I mean, yeah, seafood's expensive.
Unless you go to Japan.
Yeah, well, even then, I imagine it's still expensive. Comparatively.
Yeah, but they eat different seafood. They eat like mackerel.
I know. Okay. So listen. Given the again, this young lady, and I don't know how old this lady could be. Iquana Bennett is her name. I don't know how old she could be. It looks like she was just out going to take advantage of this poor guy. So, trying to take him to the cleaners. So good riddance. You could do better. All right, everyone. Now, what? Yeah, we are going to do animal news. You're sending me animal news? Okay. Yeah. So we have a little bit of animal news here. I got a little bit of animals myself. We're going to be sharing this. Okay. Oh, isn't that cute? So here we go. Going to see some animal news. Gotta get on that animal news. Okay, animal news right there. They're kicking each other. Look, they're kicking. They do kickies. Kickies, baby elephant. Oh, they do kickies. And they do kickies and do poopies. Look at that. They do kickies and no, get away. No, stop touching me. No, you're touching me. Stop touching me. No, you're touching me. You're touching me. No, you're touching me. No, you're touching me. That video, right? Okay. They're siblings. Yes, they are. There you go. They're so cute. All right, so even elephants have sibling rivalries. And cat cams. Where are they? Where the heck are these knuckleheads? They're around somewhere. They're not present at the moment. The kitties are not present. So, as you can see, the kitty is not. There are no kitties to be had. The kitties are not.
They're out in the living room.
They're in.
Under the bench.
Zabu's under the bench.
Then Ranch is on top.
And the ranch is on top of the bench. So yeah, they're let sleeping kitties lie. So the kitties, if they wander past, I will make sure to put them on camera. But they're doing well. They have a couple brand new Golden Knights pillows that they've taken to, and they have actually new foodie bowls. Just to show you the. Hold on. They have new foodie bowls, which we found at Goodwill. Let's see, ceramic. This is right here. This is essentially what we found them. This is the exact same thing we found. No, it's a little different. This is what we found. Is it? No, it's not. Well, listen, you'll get the idea. You'll get the freaking idea. It's close. We found them two of these. Hopefully it helped with their irpy tummies, so that they don't have to stretch their necks all the way down to the floor to eat.
And Twilight's on episode.
A band Twilight's on episode? Hold on. So there's the foodie bowls that they have. Yeah, they're doing a hide, all right. There's a banned Twilight Zone episode, apparently, that is coming back into circulation. One episode. Okay, let me see what this is about. Why was one Twilight Zone episode banned for decades? Twilight Zone: The Encounter was kept out of circulation for 50 years due to problematic content. Here's why the classic episode went missing. During debuting in 1959, Twilight Zone thrived in part because of recirculation. The science fiction horror anthology series spent decades in syndication, winning over new generations of fans. With each viewing, however, not every episode in its 5-year run reappeared after its original airing. A handful were pulled from circulation for different reasons and remained unavailable for long periods of time, including one banned Twilight Zone episode titled The Encounter, which didn't return to television for more than 50 years. In many cases, a pull from circulation involved intellectual property rights, like Season 5, Episode 22, An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. Originally produced by a French company, the Twilight Zone lacked permission to air it after its initial run. The Encounter, however, was taken off the air due to its highly questionable racial content. That's a surprise considering Twilight Zone's largely progressive politics and willingness to tackle controversial issues in a forward-thinking manner. In this case, good intentions led to a major misstep. Oh, that's George Takei. The encounter focuses on Fenton, an American veteran of World War II, finds a Japanese katana in his attic. It's later revealed that he took it from its original owner, whom he killed after the man had surrendered to him. It contains an inscription reading, "The sword will avenge me." The weapon keeps finding its way back to him, no matter how many times he tries to get rid of it. His musings are interrupted by a young Japanese-American man, Arthur Takamori, who seeks employment as his gardener. The tension between the two slowly escalates as their respective prejudices come out, with Fenton expressing an increasingly anti-Asian sentiment, and Takamori revealing that his father betrayed the U.S. forces during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. It's implied the sword physically exacerbates their emotions until they explode into violence. They scuffle, and Fenton is impaled on the blade. Takamori then grabs the sword and screams, "Banzai!" and leaps out of the attic window to his death. Why the Twilight Zone's controversial episode was banned? The episode's most obvious problem includes and involves harmful stereotyping, with the Japanese portrayed as cliched in terms of them as others. Fenton's overt bigotry mitigates that somewhat, but the real issue here lies deeper. Takamori's background is pure fiction. There exists no evidence of Japanese-American treachery at Pearl Harbor or anywhere else. And as such, lies were used to justify the interment in thousands of U.S. citizens during the war solely because of their ancestry. It lends the episode a disastrous case of both sidesism, which balances Fenton's very real biases against an open contrivance in the name of fairness. The encounter is framed as a statement against prejudice, something which the Twilight Zone inspired in other shows. However, the episode lacked diversity behind the camera, something unheard of at the time. Of course, it's not got diversity behind the camera. It was written and produced, directed by white men who were, however, well-intentioned, simply lacked perspective to handle the material properly. Ironically, Takamori was an early role for Star Trek actor George Takei, oh my, who spent his childhood in an internment camp during the war. He has subsequently shared his experiences at length in an effort to draw attention to the U.S. government's shameful history on the matter, and even fostered a musical about it, Allegiance, which he described as my legacy project, in a 2012 interview with NPR. Unsurprisingly, the Twilight Zone's encounter controversy triggered complaints from the Japanese American community, who were rightfully upset when it aired in May of 1964. It arrived just as the U.S. was entering into a new war against another Asian country, which compounded its hot-button status. That was enough to pull it from the circulation for decades, though it subsequently became available on home video collections. The ban seemingly ended on January 3rd, 2016, when Sci-Fi showed The Encounter as part of its New Year's Day Twilight Zone marathon, and is now streaming on Paramount Plus with the rest of the series. While time hasn't improved the problematic content, its availability allows viewers to examine and discuss it in better context. Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm going to have to watch that then. I'm going to see if the other one, Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, let me see if that's... I have to watch that one too. Is that available? That is actually, yeah. I can see that. Read by, okay. I could probably see that. Okay, so there you go. Twilight Zone. I always like the Twilight Zone. Couldn't understand those times was another context. No, they couldn't. Lack diversity behind the camera where nobody will see or care, for fuck's sake. Try playing a game called Call of Duty World at War. Yeah. Is that all? Banzai! Yeah, apparently. So, I have some more animal news, actually. Not really animal news, but kind of weird news. Seen Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster? Data suggests odds are low. When you learn data science, you can find that it can be applied to more or less anything. There were drones, there were boats. There were spotters on land and a hydrophone listening for suspicious sounds in the water. In what may have been the biggest search of any of its kind in 50 years, crowds of people gathered this summer in Scotland to hunt for any sign of the legendary creature, the Loch Ness Monster. Nearly 6,000 kilometers away, data scientist Flo Foxon emailed the event's organizers and wished them good luck. I'm sure it's going to be a fun weekend, he said. Foxon wasn't joining them, but from his home office in Pittsburgh, he has examined Nessie lore in his own way, with statistics. In July, Foxon published a study on the probability of finding a giant eel in the loch. One of many hypotheses for sightings of the storied sea monster. The answer, essentially 0. Even the chances of finding a 1-meter-long eel are low, about 1 in 50,000. Foxon reported in JMIRX bio. But once you get much longer than that into monster-sized eel territory, the probability plummets. But don't call Foxon a mythbuster or a debunker. Absolutely not, he says. I think you should approach these things with an open mind and let the data influence your decision-making. Though monsters have captured Foxon's imagination, his background is in physics, and by day, he's a data analyst for a health consulting firm. In his free time, he flits through far-flung fields of science, including astronomy, paleontology, and cryptology, and the study of ciphers. When you learn data science, Foxon says, you find it can be applied to more or less anything, even monsters. For his Nessie study, Foxon analyzed the mass distribution of eels caught in the Loch and Loch Ness and other freshwater bodies in Europe. He converted that data to eel length and calculated the odds of finding eels of different sizes. And in a separate monster study posted on online July 20th at buyerziv.org, Foxon looked at data on Bigfoot sightings and black bear populations across the United States and Canada. As the number of black bears in the region goes up, Bigfoot sightings tend to increase as well, he found. That doesn't tell you whether Bigfoot is real, though Foxon says you can't answer that sort of question without a specimen. Instead, he thinks about it from a probability standpoint. If you think you've seen a Sasquatch, he says, it's probably just a bear. But people claiming glimpses of Bigfoot or other extraordinary beasts probably aren't hoaxers, Foxon says. Most people are very earnest and honest about having an experience that they personally cannot explain, he thinks. He thinks scientists should listen to them and take them seriously. How much longer does this go on? Off the top of his head, Foxon could rattle off the names of supernatural attractions he's visited around the world, from a museum of curiosities in London to the Flatwoods Monsters in Sutton, West Virginia. He's even been boating on Loch Ness, though no sign of Nessie. Foxon considers his study of sea monsters, Sasquatches, and other mythical beings folk zoology. He describes the field as the intersection between zoology and indigenous knowledge of animals in folklore. Though Foxon's work has roots in cryptozoology, which once was the tools of science to investigate mysterious animals, that field has since been overrun by a lot of pseudoscience. It's not so much the monsters that push the field to the fringe, though, for God's sake. It's not so much that monsters push the field to the fringe, though. Foxon, for instance, investigates all sorts of cryptic creatures, including giant snakes and a hypothetical aquatic animal dubbed Champy. Oh, that's the Lake Champlain monster, reported to live in North America's Lake Champlain. But his quest for answers takes strictly scientific tack that relies on established mathematical methods. It's not what you study, but how you study it, says Charles Paxton, a statistician and fish biologist at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, who has published papers on the Loch Ness Monster. Still, when people find out what Paxton studies, some assume he's a pseudoscientist. That's quite frustrating, actually, he says. The methods of science can be more widely used than people might think. Foxon's latest study, posted online August 8th at Buyerziv, uses statistical method to examine eyewitness sightings of long extinct birds. The New Zealand Mao. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Though scientists think the ostrich-like bird went extinct hundreds of years ago, people have reported seeing a moa as recently as the 1990s. In an analysis that factored in the reliability of 97 separate moa sightings, Foxen estimated that the moa probably went extinct by 1770. I'm greatly disappointed by all of my findings, Foxen says with a laugh. I really wish there was a giant eel in Loch Ness, or a hairy ape-like monster in North America's woods, or a moa living in modern times, he says. But there seems to be very, very low probability. So there you go. There you go. So Loch Ness Monster, looks like it's not likely, but you never know. So there you go. So anyway, now is the time of the show. We're coming up at 56 minutes. Now is the time of the show where I go through what I like to call future headlines. Future headlines. That's right. Future headlines. No such thing as Bigfoot. You haven't seen any of my shoes, have you, Morbid? Now, as we all know, news breaks fast. News breaks fast. And I do my best to keep up with it. Sometimes it breaks faster than I can anticipate. That's just the way it is. News just breaks fast. Right now, it just broke. And nobody's fixing it. So what I've done, now I have subscribed to a special service that sends me headlines from the near future. Could be days, could be weeks, could be months, could be a couple of years. But these are headlines that you are going to see eventually in your local newspaper, in your local news, your radio, television, cable news, whatever it is, internet news. These are headlines from the near future, and I have compiled them into a segment that I'd like to call Future Headlines. So first, as we go to our first future headline. Local cat issues strike demands. A local feline has made his strike demands known, which has baffled his owners because I'm enthusiastic. A local feline has made his strike demands known, which has baffled his owners because they weren't aware he had taken any sort of labor action to begin with. The portly feline named Zabu wants more Treatos and then more Treatos, and then said he wouldn't catch mice until his demands are met. The cat's owner, who refused to be identified, said, I'm surprised as anyone. I mean, he just kind of sleeps all day, so it's not like it's hard for us to notice when he actually does something. So there's our first future headline. Second future headline. F1 finally ruins Vegas for good. Formula One has finally did what corporations and greed couldn't, and that's ruin Las Vegas. Local residents took to the streets in protest, saying they liked Vegas better when it was still sleazy. Vegas resident Vinny Aiello said, yeah, I mean, it was dirty, crime-ridden, and full of horrors, but there was still some good stuff here. I mean, you can't find a cheap steak now or nothing. So there's our second future headline. And our last future headline. Skipping World War III straight to World War V. World War III has decided to sit this one out and head straight into the next two wars, right into what's known as World War V. When asked, World War III said, look, we all know how this plays out, so why not just let me sit this one out and we can call up World War V right now and let me get some rest. So there you go. So there is our last future headline. Ladies and gentlemen, now's the time where we go over the scores for Week 7 of the NFL. Because it's my show, and that's what I want to do. So Week 7 NFL scores. The Jaguars over the Saints, 31-24, your Thursday night game. The Falcons over the Buccaneers, 16-13. Raiders losing to the Bears, 30-12. The Colts fall to the Browns, 39-38. The New York Football Giants beat the Washington collective of people engaging in football-like activities, 14-7 in a nail-biter that I witnessed. The Ravens over the Lions, 38-6. The Patriots over the Bills, 29-25. The Cardinals losing to the Seahawks currently in the fourth quarter, 20-10. Cardinals, who has the ball? I don't know who has the ball. They're in the fourth quarter. 1 minute, 12 seconds to go. The Steelers over the Rams, 24-17, 25 seconds to go. And that game has just ended. That is a final. Steelers have defeated the Rams 24-17. The Chiefs with the ball up on the Chargers, 24-17. 4:28 to go in the fourth quarter. Pardon me. The Packers up over the Broncos, 17-16. 5:30 to go in the fourth quarter. The Eagles take on the Dolphins in the late game, 8:20 tonight Eastern Time. Your Monday night football matchup. ABC's Monday Night Football. Yes, be there or be a rhombus. Talking over it for fair use. I need to get some fair use. Your Monday night matchup. The Vikings of Minnesota take on the 49ers of San Francisco. 8:15 Eastern Time tomorrow, 5:15 Pacific. There's your NFL Week 7 scores. Everyone, hope you had a good time, because I sure did. I sure had a good time. And I had a good time bringing it to you. Everyone. Morbid Fury News 2 Noobs T800. Sandra Hammer Slag. Phone Box Chicken. The Holocron Records. The other guy. Anubis T800. The other guy there. Michael Bashirs. Andrew Helm. The other guy there. Chef Nation. The other guy. And the other guy there. Michael Bashirs. I sent just Cesar Japan. Substance D. Everybody. Bird is the word. Everyone, thank you for joining me. We'd like to say no drinking, no driving. Want to see you back here next week. You have a stream coming up? Becca doesn't know if she has a stream coming up.
I don't know. Does anyone want me to have one?
Does she want to? Do you want her to do a stream?
I don't think people want me to. People haven't been watching me lately, so I'm just leave the channel. No point for it. Can't make a living on it. So.
All right. Well, everyone, have yourself a good day. Have yourself a good Sunday. Have yourself Monday. Have a good rest of the week. Have a good rest of the evening. To have a good tomorrow. Have a good morning. Have a good night. Whatever you're having, have a good one. No drinking, no driving. Bird is the word. And as always, as usual, we will catch you next time.